From the available records, local rice production, as galvanized by large industry farms, has raised production to over 190,000 metric tons, and the local markets now flooded with Anambra rice.
We have a good story to tell with respect to rice production. When I took over in March 2014, the rice production in Anambra was at about 80,000 metric tons, per annum. Currently we are doing about 210,000 metric tons. So you can see the shift, the movement we've made since barely 2.5 years. And the rice consumption in Anambra is 310,000 metric tons. We hope to bridge this gap before the end of third quarter planting season, purely because Cosach farms, by that third quarter, we'll be doing about 120,000 metric tons. If you add 120,000, additional 120,000 metric tons to the 210 that we are doing now, we clearly would have bust that. And that's what we are trying to do. We now have a brand, Anambra Rice. That brand is unique. As you are aware, they came first in Africa. In February, the Lagos Chamber of Commerce, invited all producers of rice around, and that brand was selected as the best. And Stern Records that produces that Anambra rice, got the certificate.
So far, nothing has been accidental as far as getting these rice communities to produce rice that is standardized for local consumption and ultimately for export.
In the first place, you first of all have drums and some rims which you will use as a stand, to which the drum you put it on top. After that one, stage one, you pour water into the drum. After putting water into the drum, at least half of the drum, when you feed the drum, one drum full, then you cut it. Let me say you are making use of 2 drums. You put the other one half, you use half for the other one. You put full rice on top of, you full rice on, for that one drum, fill the other one drum. After that, you make sure that water fill it to the brim of the drum. You now set firewood, put fire. So there is a kind of a degree the water will boil. You know that the tin, the rice has done for the first stage. So to determine how the rice used to, you first of all observe it. If you are well trained over the something, you observe it by the way the tin is steaming, or by putting your the 2 fingers. The hotness of the water will show you that the thing is done. Then you spray your mat like this, pour it, spray another one like this ones, then push it down. Use basket to remove it, or whatever you think that will be more better for you to spray it on the mat. So after you spray it on the mat, then you use something like rake to rake it, so that the rice will not rot. Because that by the time you remove it from the drum to the mat, there is a kind of heat inside the rice. And if you leave the rice, leave it like that without raking it, it will destroy the rice. So when you take it to the mill, the rice will not look very neat as it is supposed to be.
Details have been paid to the processing, the packaging, and of course the distribution, which used to be a huge challenge a few years ago when the farmers only produced and hoped to sell from their little corner in their communities. It therefore meant that the government intervention were deliberate in key control posts. First, the farmers had to be organized into clusters and cooperative for ease of identification and access to loan.
We have 562 rice cooperatives. A cooperative is about 10 to 15, maximum 20 people And the idea of arranging them in cooperatives is for administrative purpose, and each of those segments, they have a prefect. So for the rice cooperatives, there's a prefect. A prefect is the rice champion, the guy with all the knowledge in rice, who will make sure that the free seedlings that I give them, the very high improved rice seedlings that I give them is properly done. He trains them on how to achieve maximum yield per hectare. Anambra is the second smallest state in Nigeria, so we don't have luxury of so much land. So the only way you can do well in agriculture here is to make sure that your yield per hectare is very competitive. It compares with what you get in advanced countries, and that's what we're doing.
Then came along the partnership brokered by the state government between private investors and the local farmers, starting with the distribution of 120,000 metric tons of high-yielding rice species through those cooperatives that were put in place with a land mass allocation of over 2,500 hectares of land.
There is no farmer in the state that is not happy with the state government. Likewise, they give 50% of fertilizer to farmers. Farmers pay 50%, the state government pays 50%. So I think Anambra State will move so fast, more than the KB, Adamawa and other states in the north, because the government is helping us a lot.
In addition to the expected farm produce of 8,000 to 12,000 metric tons of rice and an expected income of over 400 million naira per annum when fully developed. For the rice planting communities, the question is how much farmland they will be willing to provide, as there are several investors on the sidelines waiting to invest. The confidence to go into rice farming with these communities stems from the bankable guarantee provided by the state government.
It's difficult to acquire land in Nigeria because of the Land Use Act. And even when you acquire the land, at times you can't even possess. For example, this place was acquired about 20 years ago, but we couldn't possess the land. But thank God, with the support of the government, the present government of peeped, and then the current governor, they gave us all the backing. That was why we were able to possess this place.
As a testament to the rice revolution in the state with the participating communities, the governor was proud to present a scorecard of results from last year's season. At the flag-off of this year's farming season, his speech read in parts: "We have approved and successfully executed about 120 million naira worth of business plans and empowered about 50,000 farmers through cooperatives. At the same time, in close partnership with the International Fund for Agricultural Development, we have linked 3,000 cooperatives to institutions offering credit facilities, built 15 kilometers of earth road, developed 2,000 hectares of land, and made improved variety of seeds and access to modern irrigation schemes available to 58,000 farmers. In all, we successfully gave out about 100 metric tons of improved variety of seeds to farmers in the last farming season. Similarly, we handed out 60 metric tons of Anambra rice to all civil servants in the state between last December and January this year." Of quote.
The challenge we have now is many people can't find that rice to buy, because most of the customers of stem rice producers take them off the company and sell them in Lagos. I hear they take them to some countries in West Africa and what have you, But I'm confident that with Joseph Agro, coming in and producing an additional 60,000 metric tons of rice by second quarter of next year, the rice will be all over the place.
Talking about living your dreams, the story of the 7 Anambra farming communities has been one of dreams coming through. 2 years ago, the state government launched the agricultural revolution. 48 months after, they are consolidating on the gains of agro-revolution and inches away from getting agriculture to contribute about 40% of the state's GDP. Beyond rhetorics, rice production in Nigeria is real. Can Nigeria produce standardized rice? Yes, it's already doing that. The story of growing communities of rice production in Anambra State is a testament of what a properly consummated PPP arrangement can achieve. Of course, more can definitely sprout. Thanks for being a part of it all. For comments, questions, and concerns, you can reach us after now using an online platform that is showing right now on your screen. Bye for now.